Are you already fed up with all the chaos surrounding the end of support for Windows 10? It was supposed to end on October 14th, 2025, but in Europe it will last longer. The problem seems to be solved, supposedly for free, but it's only for 1 year, and in reality, to even extend the support period, you have to create and be logged into a Microsoft account. That's already a very high cost. Nobody really talks about. This account allows Microsoft to constantly monitor how you use your computer. It gives access to your search history, opened applications, and basically everything you do in the system. And that's probably something you'd rather keep to yourself. Switching to Windows 11 seems natural, and I have a video on my channel about it, but it's not for everyone. Older computers might not work with it either, so is this really the absolute end for Windows 10, or maybe not? Is it still possible to install Windows 10 on an old computer that doesn't support streaming single instruction, multiple data extensions 4.2 technology without a spying Microsoft account and receive updates not just for a year, but for 7 years? Yes, it's possible. In this guide, I have a special version of Windows 10 for you, one that Microsoft prefers not to talk about openly, but which has guaranteed support and security updates until 2032. This version of Windows 10 is even lighter, even faster, and free of all unnecessary junk. I'll show you how to install it and how to activate it, and that will let you forget about this whole problem for many years. This is Powell, and you're watching Tech Maniac HD. You're welcome. I'm about to show you what may be the best Windows 10 version ever made. Windows 10 IoT Enterprise Long-Term Servicing Channel 2021. I know, the name sounds complicated, but the idea is brilliantly simple. The IoT version was made for critical devices, equipment that simply has to work reliably and without failure for many years. We're talking about ATMs, medical terminals, or production machines. You might wonder if something this good can even be installed on a home PC. After all, my laptop doesn't look anything like an automated teller machine. Well, yes, you can install it. And the reason is surprisingly simple. It doesn't matter whether we're talking about a powerful desktop computer, your 15-year-old laptop, or a terminal at the airport. At the heart of each of them is a processor that speaks exactly the same universal language. And that's exactly why you can run the same super stable operating system on it without any problem. Here's the key question. Is long-term servicing channel just a stripped-down version? Are you missing anything important? The answer is simple. Absolutely not. It's still a fully functional Windows 10. The core of the system is exactly the same as in the Home and Pro versions. This means that every game and every professional program you're using right now will work on it without the slightest problem. The main difference is what's missing in this version. It has been completely stripped of all those heavy, sluggish, and resource-consuming junk. You also won't find such extensive telemetry here, or let's call it what it is, spying on your every click for marketing purposes. By installing this version of the system, you gain extreme longevity and peace of mind for many years. After a year of free updates, others will face shocking prices from Microsoft to renew, almost like paying a ransom. Most sources assume that the second year of support will cost around 450 zlotys. The third year, even twice as much. You, having the long-term servicing channel version, have full comfort and guaranteed free security updates until January 13, 2032. Additionally, your system will also be much faster. The lack of all that junk means your computer just flies. It starts up faster, uses much less RAM, and unleashes the full potential of the processor. Even on an old hard disk drive, you'll notice a significant difference. Long-term servicing channel also means increased privacy. Forget about being forced to use a Microsoft account. Here, you have full control and greatly limited telemetry. Your computer is yours again. Additionally, by choosing this version of the system, you also get rock-solid stability. No more yearly major updates that break drivers or change the interface. You install it once and forget about it. The system just works. But let's be honest with each other here. This solution is indeed brilliant, but it's not for everyone. If you have the latest, powerful gaming PC and want access to the absolute newest technologies, then you should choose Windows 11 Long-Term Servicing Channel. The link is in the top right and in the description. This version of Windows 10 that we're discussing here today is based on the 21H2 kernel, so you won't find new features like direct storage, which significantly speeds up game loading. But let's face it, on hardware where even Windows 11 doesn't start up, you probably wouldn't be able to use it anyway. By default, there's no Microsoft Store here either, but if you need it, don't worry. At the end of the video, I'll show you how to install it in 30 seconds. Microsoft hides the long-term servicing channel version and makes it harder to download from the official website, unlike the consumer editions of Windows. Until recently, you could download the Windows 10 long-term servicing channel evaluation version, but now Microsoft redirects that link and forces us to use Windows 11. Well, that's quite something. But as you know, nothing ever disappears from the internet. The description has a link to my website techmaniacsd.pl where you'll find everything needed for this material. The first link leads to the massgrave.dev website, and I know the name sounds at least a bit unconvincing, but don't worry. It's one of the most respected places on the web that provides access to tools to directly download official files from Microsoft servers. Yes, the files remain, but Microsoft is pushing users to switch to Windows 11 with ads, making things harder as a result. We selected Windows 10 Long-Term Servicing Channel 2021. Importantly, we're not downloading the IoT version here, just the regular Enterprise Long-Term Servicing Channel image in Polish. Trust me, we'll change it later to the version supported until 2032. Download the correct file for your computer here. A 64-bit version of Windows simply won't work on an old 32-bit machine. On the other hand, it's easy to fall into a trap since 32-bit works on newer 64-bit computers, but don't do this for two key reasons. A 32-bit system has a limitation in addressing the amount of RAM. Anything above 3.5 gigabytes simply won't be recognized by it. Such a system can also be slower in some programs. Alright, but if you don't know whether your computer is 32-bit or 64-bit, just press Start in your current system, type CMD, hit Enter, and paste this command here. You can also copy this command from my website and press Enter. With this simple method, you'll find out which architecture your processor supports. And if you want to be absolutely sure that the downloaded file hasn't been modified by some scammer hackers, I've posted a short guide on my website on how to verify the International Organization for Standardization Files checksum to compare its fingerprint with Microsoft's official code. This ensures the file is completely original and free from any infection. Alright, but now let's move on to the next step, which is downloading the portable version of the Rufus program. Click on that on my website as well. After launching it, you'll see a window like this. Insert an 8 GB or larger USB flash drive into the USB port. Doing that will make a new device appear at the top. Make sure that the name matches the drive you want to use as a bootable device for the installation, and be warned that all data on it will be erased. In the image field, select the one you just downloaded, assuming it has finished downloading. The default partition scheme here is set to globally unique identifier partition table, but it only works with computers that have unified extensible firmware interface. It's a newer version of basic input-output system. Such computers started appearing around 2010. If you have a computer that's at least 15 years old still from the basic input-output system era, choose Master Boot Record here. I choose Globally Unique Identifier Partition Table and click Start. A window with custom window settings appears. This way, you'll partially automate the system installation process, and it's definitely worth doing. I enable the creation of a local account, set the same location, disable personal data collection, and deactivate BitLocker. This process takes a little while, so please wait patiently. Now you just need to restart the computer from the freshly created media and we can get started. The installation itself is very simple. However, if you need help with this as well, in the form of a slow, step-by-step walkthrough, we've included a link in the essentials for this material to my previous guide dedicated specifically to installing the standard version of Windows 10. From it, you'll learn how to create a partition, what size to assign to them, and even how to assign any drive letter you want to the partitions. Here, however, we'll skip all that until the installation is finished because at this point, we need to disconnect the computer from the internet or Wi-Fi. Disconnect the computer from the internet, that's right. This is a corporate system. It's no surprise that installation asks you to log into a work account. If we disconnected the internet earlier, it will only ask us to connect to a network. But don't worry, we just skip this window by clicking I don't have internet in the bottom left corner and then continue with limited setup. That will let us proceed further. Setting a username is required, but if you don't want a password, you can just click next here. However, if you didn't manage to disconnect the internet or don't know how to do it, the easiest way is to unplug the cable from the router or disconnect its power supply. Just let the other household members know that there won't be internet for 5 minutes, and on this screen, simply restart the computer. When the device restarts, you'll be able to finish the installation. There used to be a command here called bypass NRO, which allowed you to skip this login screen, but of course, they disabled it too. After all, with these accounts, thanks to surveillance and selling user data, Microsoft makes good money, so they're doing everything they can to block all of this. After the installation is finished, you have a clean, fresh system on your computer. If you haven't connected to the internet yet, you can definitely do it now. As you can see, everything works. The 4K monitor has also been detected correctly. Firefox is installed and only 2.4 GB of RAM is being used. It seems great, but when you press Start, type WinWare and hit Enter, you can see that this is Windows 10 Enterprise Long-Term Servicing Channel, which means it only has support until 2027. Also, if you press Start now and type the word Activation, then open the settings, you'll see that this system hasn't been activated. Exactly, and what we want is an activated system with full functionality, and to convert this license to IoT, which will receive all security updates until 2032. That's where the GVG Mall store helps. It enjoys great trust among users and allows you to purchase license keys even for such a specialized version of the system. In the essentials for this video, there is a link to the Windows 10 Enterprise Long-Term Servicing Channel 2021 IoT version. So we click Buy Now, log in or create a new account on the store's website. And here's a small note. Remember, you can create an account with your email or, for example, a Google or Twitch account. As you can see, the current price is 87 zlotys and 83 groszy below. In the promo code field, we enter TMHD, and after applying it, the price drops to 61 zlotys and 48 groszy. This material addresses the issue for hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of Poles with older hardware who want to keep using Windows 10. With my code, you've just saved over 26 zlotys, so in return, I have one, but really huge request for you. Please leave a like, write a comment, and share this video. It really helps. Without your help, the YouTube algorithm will bury this material, causing everyone who could save their equipment to fall into the Windows 11 spying trap. Help me connect with those people while also benefiting the environment. After all, each such installation means postponing the need to buy a new computer for many years. To put it simply, your like and comment mean less electronic waste in landfills and fewer toxic compounds in our soil and water. I'm convinced that this is an important mission, and I'm counting on your full support, and as you can see, you can count on mine. That's why we're moving on with the guide. Now, after making the payment, go to your account. Select the My Purchased Orders tab. Click the C Keys button, and down here, press Get Key. Paste it into the Windows activation window we opened. Click the blue Change Product key text. Here you just paste your key, activate it, and as you can see, Windows 10 Enterprise Long-Term Servicing Channel switches to Windows 10 IoT Enterprise Long-Term Servicing Channel, which is the one with support, just like we wanted, until 2032. The computer takes a moment after that, and then a window appears saying that the system has been activated. This way, you have the most robust, best, and lightest version of Windows 10 with support until January 13, 2032. I wish you many years of joy and satisfaction with your computer. Okay, but what if the key, knock on wood, doesn't work? No worries. There's a live chat icon in the page's bottom right corner. Click it and briefly write in English what the issue is. It's best to include your order number. The consultant will probably ask you for a screenshot showing the activation error. That's standard procedure. Such a problem is usually solved immediately, most often by sending you a new key. If you ever want to install the Microsoft Store later, it's really simple. And honestly, stay for a moment because you might still need this. Download the Essentials archive from my website, extract it, right-click on the script and run it as administrator. Press any key to install the necessary libraries and press again to install the store itself. Press a third time to close the window and you'll see Microsoft Store listed as a new app in the Start menu. So what? Everything is running smoothly. And now, since you don't have to buy an expensive system or even a new computer, maybe I'll encourage you to watch something completely different. My video about my journey and move to Asia. After all, life in Europe is becoming dramatically expensive and salaries aren't keeping up with the rising cost of living. I know this from my own experience. Here in Ireland, where I live, not only are hard-working people burdened with a 52% tax, which is basically daylight robbery, but there's also no good weather and the streets are becoming less and less safe. Honestly, that's an understatement. It's scary to walk around my neighborhood. That's why we did things differently. For much less than a small European apartment, we bought a luxury Asian apartment with a pool, gym, tennis and basketball courts and parking for 3 cars. All this for money that couldn't even buy us a garage in Ireland. That's why you absolutely have to write in the comments how it looks for you. Is it hard to make ends meet? Are you still managing somehow? And if this topic interested you, I warmly invite you to watch the whole series from my travels. The link is below.